We just heard a very bold and profound statement in our second reading today from the letter of St. James when he says, "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister has nothing to wear and has no food for the day, and one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm, and eat well,' but you do not give them the necessities of the body, what good is it?" And here is the shocking bottom line in this reading. Faith of itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Wow. How can this be, you might ask? How can anyone be expected to achieve this level of commitment, a commitment to faith and to works? Some may say they lead a good life, they work hard, pray regularly, and attend church every week. St. James tells us we need to do more. He says we need to provide for those less fortunate with what he describes as the necessities of the body. You know, we are blessed in many ways in this parish. We are blessed because we have many, many examples of how the members of the parish live the words of St. James, each and every day. To the works of many ministries, we feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the sick, arrange emergency shelter, and cook for St. Joseph's Shelter, just to name a few. Yes, we tend to the necessities of the body. There are many opportunities to demonstrate one's faith through works right here at Christ the King, something we should all be proud of. But there is something else I would like to talk to you about today. As you are well aware, the scandal in the church continues to raise its ugly head. It has been very troubling to me to see people criticizing and leaving the church because of anger, frustration, and outright disgust, especially when it comes to the abuse of children. It is true that the church has taken corrective action over the last several years aimed at preventing future occurrences of this heinous crime of child abuse. I can testify to these efforts because all clergy and church employees are required to participate in ongoing training regarding this issue. But in my opinion, those steps, although comprehensive and effective, are not enough. My opinion is based on a career spanning 40 years in corporate management at an executive level, my 25 years of service to the church as an ordained deacon, and my experience as a parent. These life experiences have enabled me to channel my anger, disillusionment, and frustration into a process that has helped me make sense of where we have been, where we are, and what needs to be done to really solve the problem. As I mentioned earlier, the church has taken significant steps to mitigate further abuse. What it has not done is take aggressive steps to purge the ranks of the clergy for all perpetrators, as well as those who may have been complicit either directly or indirectly in their role as administrators. If a secular authority can uncover the facts of wrongdoing, such as the recent Pennsylvania case, there is no reason why the church can't perform the same level of investigation internally, especially with the assistance of the laity as consultants. A committed hierarchy should have and could have done this long ago. The culture of secrecy and cover-up can only be changed if leadership is committed to identifying all the wrongdoers and removing those individuals who are perpetrators as well as those complicit in covering up criminal behavior. And by the way, there is no statute of limitations when conducting an internal review. Of course, all investigations should afford due process, but with an eye towards expediting the process. What we should be seeking is simply the truth. In order to be effective, all findings, of course, of abuse should be reported to authorities immediately for proper criminal prosecution. In addition, if wrongdoing is proven, there should be an immediate dismissal of the perpetrator and those administrators who were responsible and failed to take appropriate action. Again, the objective is determining the truth. In closing, I would like to share a process that has helped me deal with what is admittedly a complex and oftentimes frustrating situation. I found it helpful to separate my thought process into two categories. The first focuses on my Catholic faith, a faith we all share and love, a beautiful faith. Shortly, we'll recite the summary of that faith in the Creed, our communal profession of faith. I don't believe any of us have a problem with the principles contained in the Creed. For me, that will never change. The second element is assigning accountability to those involved in church administration. This is where the issues become complex and seem overwhelmingly insurmountable. There are issues of culture, clericalism, secrecy, the lack of fundamental, generally accepted best management practices. And let's not forget the shameful politics of the church. These areas are where the people of God are at odds with their church, and rightly so. Perhaps this is why Pope Francis has indicated that meaningful change, meaningful reform is going to have to come from the laity. I agree wholeheartedly with him. The big question is how to effectively involve the laity in a meaningful way. The time for platitudes, apologies, and excuses is over. The time for reform is long overdue. Let us pray for meaningful, timely, decisive action to heal our church and make it what Jesus meant it to be.